Hi everyone, and welcome back to Kimbo's Comfort Kitchen, and this is part deux of a three-part series that I'm doing. The first was apple raisin compote. The second, which we're doing today right now, is braised lentils, and the third one is going to be wild boar wild boar chops, reverse sear, and that's important. But right now we're doing braised lentils. You can do vegetarian by switching out my chicken stock that I use in the recipe, or beef stock with vegetable. And you can also just omit the bacon. The bacon, because we love bacon. But some of you obviously, and I respect that, don't like bacon. Okay, so let's get going, and I'm going to show you how to make braised lentils. All right, so let's get into the ingredients here, the nitty gritty, if you will. We've got carrots, leeks, celery, onion, white wine, parsley, and my original recipe calls for a chicken stock, but I'm going to try using a beef stock just because I can. I'll let you know how that turns out. And sour cream, bay leaves, chopped garlic. This is from Gilroy. I buy it already pre-minced. It's not as good as obviously fresh garlic, but it does save me a lot of time, and it's pretty darn good. And there's my bacon, which I have done a little snippet on later on about a really good way to make bacon bits. And of course the green lentils are boy. So that's what we're starting with. Oh, and then the star of the show, which are the 4 boar chops that we're going to be doing with this to go with the lentils, with the braised lentils. So that's it for now, and let's get going. So this next snippet is really quick. It's just showing a method of how to cook bacon bits or bacon chunks or lardons, a methodology using water instead of frying it in a frying pan or in the oven. It's just very quick. If you don't want to put bacon in, then just skip right through it. So welcome to the bacon frying portion of the program. I know, it's very exciting, but it's funny how people do things and have different methodologies. And what I'm going to do is take all of this bacon and put it in a little bit of water, and I'm going to fry it up until the water stops sizzling. And once that happens, then I'm going to turn the heat down. And this will ensure that my bacon is cooked thoroughly through, evenly, all the way. Rather than some people frying it up in a frying pan, you get bits that are soggy, bits that are burnt, all the rest of it. This will alleviate that problem. So I'm just going to finish doing this ribboning portion of peeling all the bacon in. I didn't really have to, you could just throw it in like that, and it will separate on its own. But we'll come back when things are sizzling. I thought I better film this because I don't want you to get freaked out when you see this and try it at home. But yeah, you're seeing all the water bubbling up and boiling off here. And that's okay, it's normal. I'm gonna just stir this up a bit, and we'll come back and I'll show you the crucial moment when you turn the heat down. Okay, so the water's gone now, and you can hear it sizzle. It's not bubbling or boiling anymore. That's the transition, and I'm gonna turn the heat down and let this cook at low heat. All right, so we're done. I'm going to take this, transfer this over to this bowl. I'm going to use this tissue paper to catch all of the extra fat, which we don't want. And it'll be nice and medium crisp. And we'll go from there. Okay, so the first part are the lentils. Well, obviously, green lentils that I'm using. They've been washed, obviously. And I put them in cold water. And I've just put them on the stove right now. And they're about an inch, the water's about an inch or 2.5 centimeters over the lentils, which I'm going to bring to a boil. And as soon as they boil, I'm going to bring it down to a simmer and cook these off till most of the moisture is gone. Well, at least the water on the top is gone. I'll show you later, but I want them still to be al dente. I don't want them to be super mushy. Okay, so this is important. Normally I would say 20 to 25 minutes for the reduction to get rid of the water. But I just spoon tasted them, and they're al dente already, and we're like 18 minutes in. So all the lentils are different in terms of how old they are, how they're stored, everything else. So you can't just go by a set number. You need to actually reach in, taste it. And I want these guys to be just, as I said, al dente, because when I do the braise, I don't want this to turn into just like porridge. So I'm going to take these off right now. And I didn't mention before, but I have bay leaves in there, obviously. I'm going to drain them and set them aside and start the next step. So I've taken the lentils off. I'm letting them drain. I'm not going to cool them. I'm just going to let them go because I want them to still have a good mouthfeel to it. They'll be fine. In the meantime, I'm heating up avocado oil with, and this is a very Danish thing. I added bacon fat to it because we add bacon fat to everything. Whether it's butter, bacon fat is pretty much the deal. So I'm putting in, and I'm going to start doing the braising, which is I'm adding all of these in there, and I got to do this really quick, so I got to get off the camera. And then we'll be back. It's just starting to smoke, which is perfect. All right, so I've just added all of the veggies that I told you about right now. I'm going to let these just totally get translucent. Well, except for the carrots, of course. And we'll be right back. All right, so we're a couple minutes in. You can see the texture. And then we're going to add the bacon that we did earlier. Now, obviously, if you're vegetarian, as I said before, you can skip the bacon and you can sub out the stock, the animal stock for vegetable stock, which it's going to be awesome for sure. I am going to leave the garlic to the very last because, as usual, I really don't want to burn the garlic. And we're doing a saute like this. That can get pretty easy to do until I add some more liquid. So you're getting the profile of this right now. It's pretty good. Now I'm going to add white wine. There we go. Wow. This is starting to look pretty good. And I haven't even seasoned it yet. So now that there's some liquid in there, I'm going to add the garlic. And I'm adding way more garlic than what my recipe says. I think in my recipe it's like 2 cloves. I add like 4, maybe 5. But I'm a garlic person. I really enjoy it. So I'm just going to let this reduce a bit. And then we're going to get to the last stage, which is more of creating a sauce for it. So it's reduced a little bit more. Now I'm going to add, in this case, I'm adding beef stock. And I'll be honest, I don't know how this is going to affect the flavor profile yet. Normally I use a chicken stock. But given that this is essentially a pork chop or a wild boar chop that's going with this, I'm pretty happy with this. So, well, we'll see if I'm happy or not. So I've let the stock warm up, and at this point is when I'm going to add my drained lentils. And the consistency right now is they're just al dente. They're a little, you've still got some great center to them, which is really what I'm looking for. So I'm going to make sure this gets well mixed, and then we're into the final phase. All right, so a lot of the moisture of the stock has been absorbed. You can see when I pull that aside. I'm now putting the butter in. And I'm going to take the sour cream. And adding that. And the parsley. And I've tasted it already, and I think it needs some salt. So I'm going to do a pinch of salt Careful not to oversalt. I hate when people oversalt. Well, hate's a strong word, but I really find it a shame when people oversalt their food. I mean, you always do need some seasoning, but you can also over-season. So right now, I'm going to mix this and we'll be back when it's settled. And this is it, folks. This is absolutely one of the best I've ever made, to be honest. I mean, sometimes we screw up and everything, but you're seeing the bubbling here. I'm going to let this reduce just a little bit. But I'm using this as a bed for wild boar chops, reverse sear, which I'm going to do another video on because otherwise the video is too long. But the point I'm making here is that the vegetables are perfect. They're not, it's not one big mush. There's still some consistency with everything, all the components that are here. And especially the lentils. The lentils are still got a consistent, it's not porridge. What you're trying to avoid is serving porridge to somebody. So as braised lentils goes, I'm telling you, this is phenomenal. It's got a great profile. I did a apple compote that's going to go with the pork chops, or the reverse sear boar. Oh my God. I'm sorry, I can't help myself. And this is going to go down great. So take a look at the other two recipes that go along with this, that marry with this dish completely. Hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you soon. Bye.